Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the electroshock therapy station where we're getting ready to cast LGD versus Secret. Lumi, I think I'm going to be slightly fuzzy here in the brain by the time this one's over.
We are very well insulated.
Yes, you've trained me in the fine art of not electrocuting yourself while casting Dota 2. That they did not list that in the job hazards where we signed up for this.
It's okay.
All right, so crucial match here. We are in Group B. LGD with a 2-0 result would finish top 2, and that would put Secret into the lower bracket. Anything else, either a tie or a Secret win, and Secret will be in the upper bracket. With a win, Secret have a chance to tie eHome. I'm not sure how the tiebreaker would work exactly. We can actually probably check the result and find out, but that's not that important. Either way, they'd be upper bracket is the big thing.
I think they tied against
They tied, so yeah. they would probably flip a coin. I don't know. Time rating, it doesn't really matter that much. Maybe they'd play a game for seeding. Maybe. But the main thing, of course, you want to be upper bracket here. So draft has begun, Lumi. They're going to start this off with the maybe Ember Spirit. Do you just grab a Darkseer here? Is that the play?
Yeah, Darkseer is good. I like Queen
Everyone's
of Pain.
loving this combo.
I like
right
Queen
now.
of Pain plus Ember as well. It's a pretty good, strong 2-core beginning. I imagine Queen of Pain now will get banned out on the second phase. Do you feel like there's a standout hero so far as we're nearing the day 2 of the group stage?
In terms of like results or just in popularity, would you say?
Yeah, results.
5 seconds.
I mean, for example, I would say Darkseer is a hero that's picked a lot, but the results pretty mixed.
Yeah.
Reserve time.
Darkseer just seems like such a versatile opening because it forces out all these like block picks and bans like Ember, TA, Wyvern almost immediately, but a lot of teams don't seem to be playing around them all that well.
Yeah, I think
Ember seems, honestly, I feel like the most overrated hero in terms of results, although I'm not necessarily saying he's a weak hero, is the Ember. He has not been doing well in the games I've cast.
Yeah, actually he's like about half and half in terms of win
and
loses.
the rating, he is getting picked early, so teams have a chance to counter pick him, which definitely can affect the results. But I think Queen of Pain's actually done very well this sort of it. That's a hero that's been consistently solid, and you know, you see a Quap, it's like, well, she's not the hardest carry, she's a lane dominator, but she doesn't have that much physical damage. But the way people are itemizing now, they get like the AC, we've seen MKB pickups. Last game I was casting, I saw a Drow Quap where she went Satanic. It was just man fighting against an Ember. She's been doing a lot of work for me.
Turns out that Blink makes you pretty much an OP carry when you could reposition yourself and go to the backline squishies. But she's not in this game, so we're not going to talk too much about her. Meanwhile, I think Slaughter offlane has been pretty much a hit for me as well. At least for Boba. Got them 2 games in a row against Fnatic, putting themselves in the losers bracket and knocking Fnatic out of the tournament. So I know the DC fans out there are Slaughter fans as well. And of course, Undying is, to me, also a very hot hero. Normally banned out early, but first pick here by Secret.
Well, of course, the interesting thing about the Ember is Secret, they love their Meepo. But do you really want to go Meepo against the AoE crit lord?
Probably not. You could make the argument that the other direction is not that bad, because once Meepo gets Hex, I know that's pretty deep in the game, you could just pick the Ember whenever you want. So there is that. With that said, I don't think we're going to see the Weehaw Meepo this game.
Yeah, it's just a nice tool to have in your arsenal. Something I think teams often like overreact to. We've seen, I think, DC first phase banned it yesterday, which
they did.
I mean, dear God, if you have to first phase ban a Meepo and you haven't even played against the end of the tournament, you're really cornering yourself in the draft. So, what are they going to go from here? The Witch Doctor gets removed. Secret? Why ban Witch Doctor? Are they thinking of an IO, perhaps? Where's the tiny IO gone on that note?
Dude, I'm asking myself every time I see them opening to get a pick. For example, like the second block pick, right?
Yeah. On
the first phase, you get Tiny Wisp, but teams are kind of shying away from it. I don't know why. That hero still has, what, a 70% win rate together? So
it's got a really high win rate, and it had a really high win rate across multiple regions in the Frankfurt qualifiers.
I think because we're seeing a lot of Bane, Disruptor, as well as Winter Wyvern. All of these are fairly decent against the combo.
That's true.
So,
well, Secret. Of course, you get the Slardar, Wind Ranger, TA come to mind, the 2 big range physical damage cores. Generally, we see at least one of them with a Slardar. Not sure if Secret would go for it now. Both are available. Also, Tusk still out there if they want to really try to dominate that LGD safe lane. And, you know, it's something Winter has brought up probably like 20 times in the past couple weeks, that not enough teams pressure safe lane Ember. So I suppose your Tusk Undying definitely one of the ways to do it.
Yeah, I think teams are starting to adjust that, and I think that's the reason why Ember hasn't been winning as much, because people are pressuring that lane more in this tournament. I wonder if we're going to see a Puppy Chen at least somewhere in this tournament.
Lina.
How do you feel about Chen matching up against Ember Spirit? Obviously, Slight is very good at, you know, kind of weakening the creeps, but at the same time, they're so tanky that I don't think you really care too much.
Sorry, what was that about Slight?
Chen creeps in general.
Oh, huh.
I feel like Chen, at the very least, pressures your mid game so hard, and I don't think Ember at that point really have the item to fight against the Chen army.
We're trying to adjust the volume here, guys. I guess it's a bit too loud with the buzz. Things have gotten weird here. Sorry, we'll tweak it as best we can, but you'll just have to bear with it. This is the last match on the secondary stream, and then we won't have to use this.
Well, maybe we might have tiebreakers.
Well, we might have tiebreakers. That's true, but hopefully we won't have to use this butchered setup too much longer. Okay. So yeah, I don't know. Chen just. I mean, if anyone would run it, I guess it would be Secret, right? I saw some interesting stuff, like taking over a catapult and then just having like the double catapult push early on. That was an interesting change as well. My ears are actually bleeding. Tusk is the grab, LGD the ones to take it though. So Wyvern's still out there. I mean, how much do you want to commit to the Darkseer combo is the question, but
I think the Wyvern Darkseer combo is actually pretty overrated. Because sure you get a 2 or 3 man stun, but normally unlike a Magnus where you could wombo combo on top of that, because of the 70% damage reduction, like they're stunned for a long time, but you're not really killing anybody, at least very quickly, so it ain't good.
Secret. Is the Lina their big like right click hero? Do you expect to see a support Lina, maybe something more like a TA or Wind Ranger still?
I think the nice thing about this is the flexibility, which you know we've seen her rotate from mid to support all the time. So I think we kind of have to wait and see to see how it goes. Of course, that will force LGD to draft at least a stronger mid laner. You can't just do something like really weak like a DK lane.
Disruptor, the grab now. Secret, some strong lockdown for Ember. Probably the single best support I would say to pressure Ember through the early to mid game. Yeah, eventually he might get a BKB, but forcing Ember to do that is already a win. So.
Yeah.
I like the Disruptor grab from Secret. Does meet a core Lina now.
Yep. You could do core Undying, but it's just really...
Then you have Undying and Slaughter. I guess you could.
It's like pretty YOLO early game, but it's all Gucci.
They're not the most aggressive draft, though. This does mean the Ember, unless this last pick is something really up in your face, is likely to have a reasonably good time through the laning stage. And I don't know if you remember that TI5 game that Maybe had versus Cloud9. I think Eternal Envy might still have nightmares.
Wait, was it the Spectre? No, that's Vici. I don't remember. I watch every Cloud9 game, and I was crying every Cloud9 game, so I think I might have blocked it out.
It was the game where he got like the Blink Dagger, the Naked Rapier. It was the first game Cloud9 played at TI.
I don't know.
Oh, man.
I blocked it all out. It was a painful time.
It's the best of times. It was, well, mostly the worst of times.
Yeah, for Cloud9 fans. All right, Gyrocopter. So we're going to see a mid-Ember, something that we don't see pretty much ever anymore, right? Like, it's all safe lane Ember nowadays.
Yeah, we have not seen much mid-Ember. And he does not have the strongest laning phase generally.
Not against Lina.
Certain heroes he does okay against. Lina, not one of them. You can, go for the early poor man shield, get pulled some regen, ferry out some tangos, get your levels, but he's definitely going to be reliant on supports to bail him out a bit there.
Well, you have Tusk as a decent roaming support. I think we need something else. A is being taken out. I think that's a fairly smart ban. What's another really...
what do they want with this AA ban? Are they thinking a little Huskar? That's something EE has played on occasion.
Sure. Let's see.
Why else would you ban AA? Slark?
Alchemist?
Alchemist, yeah, there's some good eggs upgrades, I suppose. That's definitely a possibility. You know it's going to be an Ember mid, so you can afford to be a bit greedy. Yeah, I think Alch could definitely be a possibility.
Necro. MB played quite a bit of that. Although I'm not sure if this is a good Necro game. Necro Lina, I think it's a very underrated combo in my opinion. So that could be good. So
I feel like, yeah, it's got to be one of, like, I feel like it has to be one of those three or something very similar. Something that either pushes really hard or is just very weak against the Ice Blast.
10 seconds remaining.
Or it could just be AA ban, because the Chinese team really kind of just like having AA as a support.
Yeah.
Vichy picks it quite a bit, but that could just be Vichy being Vichy.
Clinks.
You're going to Clinks. All right, well, that doesn't really explain the AA ban particularly. Maybe just wanting to break down their pick-off potential. Because you have the Ember, great setup, Tusk as well. Ice Blast could be a way to get some pretty easy kills.
Are we going to see the Blinks?
The Blinks?
Probably not.
We're going to see that, like, super greedy Clinks with the Midas Rush. That's fallen by the wayside, it seems.
Yeah, we're going to see either Deso or Orchid first. That build is just too good. And then we need a support for LGD. Wyvern would have been really great. Yeah, Wyvern's still in the pool, actually.
Yeah, Cold Embrace is great against Clinks, great against Slardar, combos well with the Darkseer.
Not so good against Lina or the Tombstone.
Yeah. Okay, they'll go Bane.
I'm not sure about this one.
I still think the Wyvern's the safer pick. He gives you more solutions for their primary form of damage, which is physical damage for sure. Even the Lina's going to hit pretty hard when amp damage gets applied, and he combos better for the team fight. But obviously Bane a bit more of a laning threat, and with the sleep, some kill potential there with the Gyrocopter.
I think the laning threat is actually the big part here. I think LGD is going to send their Bane to the mid lane against Alina, at least at level 1. Wyvern, you could Arctic Burn, and after that you're pretty much done. But Bane has such a high base damage, and his Brain Stab is not exactly the most mana-intensive spell, so you can kind of spam it quite a bit in the mid lane. I think that's part of the reason why they picked Bane over the AA, or Wyvern, excuse me. Alright, speaking of which lanes do you favor for the two sides? You think Secret's got the better lanes?
5 seconds remaining.
How are they going to lane this? So, Clink safe lane.
Lina mid. Undying Slaughter bottom, probably.
Oh, jeez. It's too fast for me. God damn it. Clicking is hard. Sorry, guys. Just trying to get the camera settings sorted out here. All right, should be good. Slaughter Undying is not a particularly strong lane, but you are going to be up against an Ember. Oh no, actually, I guess it's the gyro lane. So I'm not a big fan of this off lane for Secret. I think they're going to struggle, but they get some good wards down, and they're not scouted. That will definitely help the off lane quite a bit.
Yeah, meanwhile, the LGD lanes are also fairly standard. You're going to have a Darkseer. Maybe the Bane's going to rotate and help top a bit, but for the most part, we're going to see probably a defensive tri-lane with a bit of roaming and stacking towards the mid. I don't think you could make an argument for any lane having a really strong advantage, any team having any strong advantage in the lane.
Hey, can you try to move your mic like a little closer to the corner of your mouth without zapping yourself? Is that possible?
That will literally zap me.
Okay.
But I'll take it for the team.
No, you don't have to zap yourself. It's okay.
It's okay.
All right, guys, we're doing what we can. Game 1, Secret versus LGD. Here we go. So Secret, all clustering up near the bottom bounty rune, the top bounty rune, LGD.
I'm too loud, apparently, so I should turn myself down. According to one person. Which I'm not sure if I'm being trolled or not.
Lumi's too loud, Lumi's too quiet, LD's too loud, LD's too quiet. God damn it, Chad. I think we're just going to put them on subscribe for the rest of the tournament.
Or we're done after this, right? With this stream. Just bear with it, guys. It'll be fine.
Hang on. It'll be okay.
Hello, Winter.
Hello.
I think both of our sanity has been pretty much drained at this point.
Oh wow. Now I'm too loud. All right, let's just keep them even. I think my microphone fell off my ear because of the friggin' hoodie. All right, sorry about that, guys. We're trying here. MMY gonna be looking at the lanes now. They're gonna have the Tusk Darkseer dual lane. We normally see that Spirit Breaker Darkseer, but obviously similar kind of concept. Two fairly tanky heroes that can just run at you with double Ion Shell. A little bit easier catch, I would say. Looks like DDC is going to be able to de-order this cap. And they're up against a Disruptor as well as a Quake, so good laning harass, but also a bit squishy if they get caught by the shards. Should be some kill potential here if LGD play it properly.
Yeah, I think same thing on the bottom side. You can see that Gyrocopter's got like 2 or 3 decays already on them, so if they could get close enough here for a crush, that could actually just be a kill. Sylar's
bottom lane. They're moving in to get the crush off of DDC. He does have a nightmare. They need to use it just to walk away. Misery gonna back off. Sylar not yet engaging. Just tiny back. Only is the level 1 rocket barrage.
I think Rain Stab is generally the spell you want to start things off. It's a much better harassment spell, especially. Speaking of the mid lane, maybe not gonna die or anything, but that's what
he does salve up. Trading and pushing it to the limit while Sylar gets chased. He tries to juke the stun. Not going to happen. This one dying with 5 decay stacks just mauls him to death. Misery did have the mango. Could have maybe gone for a secondary crush.
How do you stay in the lane with 5 stacks on you?
Well, he tried to get out of the lane. It's like, I want to leave, but what could happen? There's a roam on mid, though. This could be big for the Ember. Setting up. Snowball's there. The shard's going to come through. It's a perfect trap. Even body blocking him in a bit. They will get the kill on Weeha's Lina. Very well played.
Yep. Pilot die comes in, but there's nothing that he can do. Double damage rune up top. I imagine we're not going to see too much early game aggression until that Clint decides to leave the lane. Be passive farming all about. I think Misery hasn't lost a game on Slaughter yet, so that's maybe a relevant stat that we should have talked about. He's probably like 6 or 7-0 by this point. So I guess.
And how does that compare? Like, and Secret's been winning a lot lately, I guess. So part of it's maybe that they're just playing well right now, but that is an impressive win rate.
I think we see the successful Slaughters are the ones that could do stuff even before the part of it comes down to the draft. So, for example, Digital Chaos drafted an Earthshaker plus the Slaughter. So the Shaker was set up a fissure, and then you sprint into the stuff. A lot of trouble. Double damager from maybe LSA will hit, but the back line there is going to be a snowball. Sorry, Ember picks up yet another kill.
Oh, nice. He gets the last hit too with the double damager, and that's a big grab.
Yep.
You know, if in a vacuum, maybe it's a slightly difficult matchup for the Ember, but now that he's got the point and Sleight of Fist, the level 3 Flame Guard, he can dodge the Light Strike Array, he can also set up for the Tusk Roams, and it's just not a fair matchup, Lumi. How does Secret adjust? Undying's not really a hero that can turn that lane around. Disruptor could maybe save the Lina with a glimpse, but then you're going to give a ton of space to Darkseer. So I feel like this is where LGD's lanes are just a lot more flexible. They can gank with DDC, they can gank with the Tusk. The Gyro's fairly difficult to punish. It'll be a glimpse trying to prevent maybe from at least getting the 4-minute rune. Puppy will grab an illusion.
Yeah, you're right. It's just that I think Secret are not supposed to lose that lane. Lina dying twice against the Ember is just pretty much unheard of in kind of a easy situation. And he also had an Observer Ward protecting him, so at least a secondary gank where the Ember Spirit picked up a double damage. Weeha should be aware of that, but it is a long day. I'm not sure if he's getting tired or whatnot. Top lane, Clinks is still farming away. I imagine it's going to be the standard Treads, Medallion into maybe a Soul Ring in between, and then your choice of Deso or Orchids. Is there one that you favor more this game? Orchid obviously better against maybe, Deso better against towers.
I'm of the school of thought that the Orchid is usually not that good, but there's an Ember in the game.
Yeah.
And I think they do lack lockdown versus him. You've got Glimpse, Static Storm, that's not bad. That's one of the better, probably the best support I think to lockdown Ember, but that's really about it. Blink Crush could work. Obviously Lina's very bad at controlling an Ember, so I think because there's an Ember in the game, Orchid is a solid choice, but generally I'm more a fan of the Deso. I feel like it's just the safer item. You could take Roche with it, it helps you push, whereas Orchid only helps you to get kills and control, and doesn't have the same versatility.
Alright, so let's say Puppy agrees with you, right? Let's say Clinks is going for the Orchid. Is Clinks the best Orchid carrier that you can pick for a safe lane, or you think there's another pick that's better than Clinks? That will always go the Orchid.
Who else was a big Orchid carrier? Storm, not very strong right now. Brood, I mean, it's a very unique hero. Like, Quap was banned, otherwise I would say Quap's maybe the one other slightly more versatile Orchid carrier than the Clicks. You can go to pretty much any lane. Crush does come on the bottom lane, and Misery's going to take a pounding here from the Rocket Barrage, but not quite as much as you would have thought. Then the 2-hero snowball comes in, suddenly they're trapped. No decay stacks, Pylai Die going to get butchered. Great rotations from MMY. He wins the mid lane, now he's won bottom.
This Tusk, man, like
how does this hero get through so often? It's always a shocker to me, to be honest.
I mean, I'm starting to believe that this hero is actually the strongest hero in this patch.
Winter has been saying for a while that he thinks that Tusk is just the best overall hero.
Yeah.
Not always like the strongest in a particular draft, just the most versatile.
I
He gave me a back rub because he loves his Tusk so much.
I think Doom is one of those heroes that you could easily see his effect and how he easily takes over the game, but a Tusk, you definitely need to be at the right place at the right time to win the lanes, but when you see it like that, I think MMY has shown that this hero is one of the best heroes in the patch.
Yeah, he's made a lot happen, and then the pressure's on Eternal Envy, Lumi. Really the only hero having a great time in the laning stage so far, and it's not even that great, it's just that he hasn't died and he's been farming.
Yeah.
So, what's the plan here? Generally as Claykes, you go jungle, you give the lane to a support. That is what they're doing currently to get Puppy's level 6. Ember looking for the chains on Weehaw. That's a pity the creeps though. Now maybe he's gonna back off. Weehaw does have a stun as well as a Laguna Blade. Sleight of Fist is available. Doesn't need it. But I got any range. So what do you expect from Eternal Envy? Because I feel like he's kind of the pivot point for Secret right now.
Yeah, I think one strong move that you could make as making Clinks, apart from just randomly backstabbing a support in the jungle, is looking to backstab tier 1 towers. But the problem is that the 2 lanes on the other side of the map have lost so bad that the tier 1 towers have not even sustained any damage. So you can't really even burn it down with a max steering hero. Looks like he's going to try to get a gank up top, but he has enough level 3 glimpse. No, they only
damn!
That's damage right there.
Alright, TK got beat, and they might lose another here. The Tusk snowballs forward. Reinforcements have arrived, though. Maybe into the fight, and he gets glimpsed back, but only into the lane, not back to the mid. So with that glimpse, they will disengage. So he saves the Tusk, force the TP, though. And they get the Darkseer kill. Nice little win there for Secret.
Yeah, it's so important for the Clinks to get the kill, especially if he's going for the Orchid build, which the double...
He might just be going Soul Rain Medallion, actually.
Well, he also has a Sage's Mask in the Savius, right? So I feel like that's enough.
I suppose that's true. But Bassie's not a terrible item just to hang on to. I don't know. If you don't get Orchid, it does put a lot of pressure on the Disruptor and Slardar to lock down Ember. And maybe is a world-class Ember. He might be the best in the world. He's definitely like in my top 3. So he's not someone you can like, oh yeah, maybe he's just going to get caught and we can outplay him. Like, it's not going to be easy.
But the problem is, if you do go Orchid, then you are really relying on your Lina to do just the raw damage, right? Who else is actually really good at doing damage this game?
They have Slardar. So the Clinks will hit reasonably hard, but...
I mean, there's definitely pros and cons into either build, but yeah, like your question poses, Envy needs to jungle and backstab, which he's got that 1 kill so far.
Snowball, they are going to find the Clinks. Hey, buddy, Dust is there, Shards are there, and he quickly starts to drop Ion Shell, even the wall committed. LGD with some crisp rotations. Feels like a different team from yesterday, I got to say. Yesterday, they looked very lost, but now the sleep on Weehaw, MMY, waiting for the cooldowns on his spells, but Ember has arrived. Maybe gonna finish off Weehaw. The Laguna Blade almost entirely blocked, but they get the static storm down. Perfectly placed by Puppy. 2 heroes locked in position. Weehaw gonna survive, snowballing past through the static field. He's got no mana, he's got stick charges, but doesn't have the cooldowns. They're gonna lose all 3. Puppy the savior until Sylar shows up. His cooldown hits on 2, but Puppy, the second one, not gonna connect.
I mean,
my God, Puppy, Capitan, my Capitan.
Yeah, the Lina also, like, I thought she was dead, and if she died there was nearly not enough damage to kind of get that return kill. So, good thing for Weehaw to turn around. To be honest, he was actually playing a very poor Lina up to this point, but...
He was under a lot of pressure, though, to be fair. Not even just the Tusk ganks, but the threat of those ganks, and he... I believe they only had... I forget where the ward was.
No, it's right here. It's, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, because he didn't see the Tusk coming the first time.
No, I said he should have seen it because he had a ward there. So I think Weehaw, maybe, I don't know if he just ate dinner and he's not feeling good, but not the Weehaw play. Yo, this is the play there.
Radiant team didn't fully... The team here is kind of squirming down towards that bottom lane, and checking out Radiant Vision once more. Map is looking a little empty. Bottom lane's kind of pushing in, top lane pushing out. Get the Tombstone down just to be safe, and Team Secret get an uncontested Roche. And now, with this, it is feeling like maybe the Plague is not going to go Orchid after all. Just the casual Sage's Mask for now.
He could still go for it, we'll see. But I think the importance of that move is actually just getting levels, and as well as a bit of gold on your hero. Obviously, denying the Aegis on the other side is great, but I don't think LGD is really looking to take an Aegis. And it's not like you could really like get a T2, for example, with this Aegis. So just farming it as a big neutral camp. Meanwhile, MMY in a lot of trouble here. He is going to snowball towards Envy, but looks like that's going to be a suicide. Oh!
Envy's Death Pact to ward off. He would have easily gotten that kill. Weeha's the one that gets punished. Static Storm gets dropped, but maybe able to walk away. Is there a glimpse back? No, already committed it. Maybe even looking to run forward. Perhaps has the chains available. They can surge him in. Stick Charge is also in line. Has the Remnant, but doesn't want to overextend. Beautiful shards again, catching out Eternal Envy.
I'm surprised
why it's been on fire.
I'm surprised Weeha didn't actually land the LSA. I mean, it's a pretty easily recognizable snowball animation towards Envy. So, not impressed with Weeha's towards.
How many leading games has he played?
I definitely don't think that that's one of his more common heroes. He plays Wind Ranger a lot, Meepo. But Lina is not exactly...
little quap, I guess.
Yeah. Lina's not exactly the most difficult hero to play.
Not everyone can be Shiki Lumi. Well, I guess the trade-off is Lina's the one hero that you play at a crazy level. Yeah. Sylar is smoked up now. LGD moving down mid. Puppy might want some revenge. Ember jumping in right away. There's the clip. Skip back. Leave me alone. Call down coming through. It's going to hit on two. And maybe jumps right back to the Remnant. He's going to dive on a Pilot. He'll get the kill there as well. Misery in pursuit, but up and down and all the way. Maybe he's going to escape. MMY, maybe not so lucky though. He'll take one for the team. They do still have vision on maybe. He's full HP, very healthy. Again, just maybe's individual Ember Spirit play. No margin for error. Gets the Remnant off as the glimpse happens and just jumps right back into the fray.
I really miss this kind of playstyle of the Ember, which just joins essentially every single fight. But he joins a fight with, I believe, power treads, right? He's not going for that greedy BLT build. I feel like treads drums on Ember has really been forgotten, especially on the mid lane. You get a bottle and your mana regen is so high. No, actually he's gone for the phase. Okay, but he's got the urn. Sorry, not the urn. Ooh, nice pick off here.
Sama. Big courier snipe, but had already delivered the drums. So they go double phase drums. LGD very early to mid game combat phase. I guess their feeling here is if they could just stay even through the first 20 to 30 minutes, they have the late game, right? You've got Gyro, Ember, Darkseer, amazing team fight control from the Tusk as well as the Bane. Like Secret could win late, but if they do, it's because they outplay LGD, not because they beat them late based on lineup.
I think Secret's got better support duel in the late game. It depends on how you itemize. For example, if Disruptor gets a Static Storm with Aghanims, then that could be very
I don't think anything beats Tusk, dude. That hero's ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess it comes down to item. If Tusk gets Greaves, then you know things are different as well. But yeah, I agree with the playstyle of LGD. They understand that Klings. This is the stage that Klings needs to be very active.
Stallion is online now. I imagine Deso probably the next grab as LGD starts to clump up mid. They want to play aggressive here. Yules has been picked up for Weeha. Maybe he's going to be the one to initiate. Went for the chase, but the Yules was used defensively. I mean, Weeha doesn't have any setup. Then the stun misses. They glimpse maybe back. He just jumps away again. And will end up escaping quite easily, in fact. That was a very awkward engagement. Yeah, you're right. Weeha is definitely struggling a bit here to find the combos. They're going to push now.
Very poorly played Legendary. Everybody missing skill shots.
The difference in League is they're all super low cooldown though, so you just get another shot in like, what, 5 seconds or something?
Yeah. Well, LSA is pretty low cooldown. I think I saw a missed Static Storm on top of that as well. So. Looks like we're going to see a gank. Weeha trying to make it work here. LSA on the edge.
That ain't happening. Yeah, no, sorry. No chance in hell. He gets up to Laguna, and from the high ground, Eternal Envy will snipe him. Beautifully comboed, even though he dodged the stun. He'll end up going down, but they get the Lina as the trade.
Not bad.
One for one, but I think if you're Secret, you're still very happy with that. Killing off maybe, slowing him down is more important than losing your Lina.
Yep. The important thing is that Klings is essentially involved in every single fight. I'm surprised that he hasn't started backdooring the bottom tier 1 tower first. Definitely respecting the fact that MMY could jump on him at any given moment. Speaking of MMY, he's jumping at mid lane. Puppy in a lot of trouble here. Out of mana is MMY. Call down on top here. Slaughter does come in and he does get off the crush, but in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Envy on the back line here, trying to get MMY. Gets easily gripped here by the Bane. And meanwhile, Tombstone's doing a little bit of work, but it's not going to be enough. He does have the Aegis. MMY, I believe he's going to be dead. Envy should be chasing him. Meanwhile, Pilot dying in a lot of trouble as well. Misery gets Nightmare up. Is MMY going to make the greatest escape ever?
He's got Stick. Does he have enough mana for anything? Maybe he's back into the fray. He rushes forward. He jumps in onto Weeha. Gets off the chains. They're looking for a bit more. The stun to complete airball. LGD playing with their food. They pop the drums. They run forward again. He stops to hit illusions and he runs through the wall. Will it cover his retreat? Weeha. No siree. Double remnant forward. Dodging the stun again. The 2-hero chains may be out of control in this fight. Now Twilight Knight could be next. Somebody stop this freaking Ember. He's just running roughshod all over them. Eternal Envy suddenly rejoins the fray. They do manage to take down the gyrocopter, but that's it, as maybe dances on their graves on the way out. My God, this guy is a beast.
Do we actually have a Lina in this game? Because when you actually miss your AoE spells, you don't do any damage. I know we're expecting some expert analysis, but I don't know what to say.
Right, well, we've got Bull Donner in chat. His Donner can't take it. Nice stun. Holy shit, that was his expert analysis. Man, maybe is a beast.
Yeah, maybe he's playing really well. He is.
This is one of the few players I think like you just if Ember's there you can just grab it first every time.
You know, I wasn't really hyped for this game. But
What?
No, hear me out. I wasn't really hyped for this game, but the combination of awful Lina plays and maybe sick Ember play has really woken me up. I was like, man, look at this top tier mid player on one side, and then the other side.
Jesus.
All right, let's see what maybe.
Lumi, did they not feed you lunch?
I had dinner, a very good dinner.
Okay, so
I ate some jalapeno. Maybe that's why.
you're feeling a little savage today. It's like you just freshly loaded up your flamethrower.
I don't know. Whenever I see Envy's team play, I just like expect good Dota.
It's the Cloud9 legacy.
Yeah.
You went from just always showing them love and kindness to anytime they did the slightest mistake, freaking idiots. Stupid Cloud9.
All right, mid lane here. There you go, Misery. What a player. Gets a crush, but a good nightmare. Protecting Silo a little bit here. Silo being burned down. Where's the Laguna? Weeha. He goes on the flame shield. I don't know about that here. Weeha trying to juke, but he's dead. Meanwhile, Envy on the back line trying to get something done, but looks like let it all out is going to be let it all dead. And can you make it out? No. Nice heal here from Pylite Die, but good protection. Maybe still alive. That's Tombstone, the zombie house. Doing so much work. Misery going to get off another crusher. Misery just carrying the team. MMY is going to bring down the Tombstone. Nice snowball, bring everybody in. Highlight that's going to get snowballed up. DDC still alive. Another crush from Misery. This time a 3-man crush. Misery, how big and how broad are your shoulders? He is going to go down, but
ROTK.
What? Okay.
Okay. He's
going to blink in. Easy blink.
Yeah, he's going to try for it. ROTK very low. Any buybacks available? Nobody choosing to use them.
Easy.
Surprise, that was a close fight, but in the end, Secret with the full 5-man takedown. They run away with it, and I mean, you said it well there in the middle of the fight, Lumi. That Tombstone was just ignored the entire engagement, a 3,000 gold swing. They committed an entire static storm, didn't get a kill off of it until the very end on the gyrocopter. It seemed like at that point the Ember can just run freely throughout the fight, but we see the power of Slardar versus him. Ember, one big weakness to me is he's very frail in terms of armor, doesn't have the best stats growth, gets caught by a crush for the amp damage, he just melts.
I mean, Ember, unlike like all the other spirits, Storm, Earth, if you catches him, he's pretty much squished, right? Like food. Storm, same thing. I think once you catch him, he's pretty much dead. And the strength of that hero is that you don't normally catch him, but those zombies, they're relentless. They keep spawning, and eventually
LGD are not to be deterred by this. They're going to find a wild Weeha. They had the ward in the jungle, and well, Weeha will try to hang on a bit longer. We'll end up going down in the end.
Learning from Pylite Die. He tanks a smoke gank, which is good for the team, right? So, Puppy TP's out top, so he's good.
Oh my goodness. Lumi, please.
Okay, like, real talk, no
a little
flames.
mercy.
Like, what has Weeha done this game? He tanked for the Tombstone that last fight. That's
okay, he did get roamed on by the Tusk a lot.
That's fair, that's fair. He had a ward!
I don't think it saw all of them. You may have seen the ward.
Yeah, he saw one. Alright, I'll chill on the Weeha fight.
Just save the flamethrower. You've got 4 more days. Save your ammunition for what it counts. LGD pressing up in the top lane. Both cores are getting farmed. Now Ogre Club up on Sylar. Maybe 2,700 gold. We'll see where he wants to take it. That straight Battle Fury. Not really the best Manta game. I think it's generally not the first item that you want on a...
Do you think the way that he's playing BKB will be a bad item, Trey? Like, the way that LG's been playing is they're taking these fights into Secret very aggressively.
BKB?
Yeah, it's very awkward as a great item, but right now he's really relying on that spell damage and it's working out so far.
I feel like the real threat to him as the game progresses is the amp damage. He gets the remnant in the pit. Oh, maybe wanted to jump back in there. Flips back, almost had the range for it. Not quite though. Secret on the run. Now maybe jumps in, gets off the 2 here, Sleight of Fist for the safety of the pit. And then the wall into the call down. This could be enough for a kill. No, Misery skates away from the high ground. They get off the silence, so maybe he may end up going down. He tried to swag on EE Sama, and Weehaw gets his sweet revenge. Laguna to the dome. Actually, more to the butt.
Actually, there's a glimpse backward here. Misery right on top with that stun to MMY, taking a ton of damage. He's going to roll into, looks like Puppy. There's a punch available. Puppy's dropping low. LSA here. Actually, they got the kill. I'm not sure whether it hit or miss. It didn't matter. And Aegis, I believe, still preserved onto the Lina. So, pretty big victory here for Team Secret.
That is, in fact, a 1,500 gold swing, but that doesn't even count the value of the Aegis, or I believe the Roshan is. RFTK gets a few arrows pumped into him. EE, first damage item. Hopefully coming soon here, up to 2,000 gold.
Probably the Vessel.
Yeah, normally is the Desolator.
I'm not sure how you feel about like upgrading to the complete Solar Press. Because the minus armor doesn't really change, right?
They don't. It's kind of good on the Slardar, because then Misery gets a lot tankier.
Yeah, I guess, but you generally just use it offensively. You never really use it. Puppy, that's up to Glimmer. Like, they're going to just run away.
In fact, they may go back in. Misery's thinking about it.
Tombstone being set up here in a fairly decent position. No back off.
Vicious. I think for LGD, they don't really need to force it that much. I still consider their late game superior if they get the combo off. So I would like to see them relax a little bit, maybe go for a smoke gank, but they don't have to force the issue. They're a decent pickoff lineup, but there's a lot more room here to farm. Siler's BKB will be crucial this game. There's actually no lockdown for BKB at all, aside from a bash, but you're not building your fights around that.
The way they itemize the double phase and double drums, they feel like they should be fighting. If not,
I think that's fine, just to get to the late game. But you don't have to win the game now. LGD's definitely not on a clock here.
I definitely agree with that. And you can see that they're now going back for some more farming-oriented item, the Battle Fury onto the Ember Spirit, Sylar working towards the BKB.
Misery has Blink Dagger available for usage. They do have some vision of this Radiant jungle, but LGD staying together as a pack. Looks like Battle Fury probably coming soon. I just think if you get linkage that you delay your ability to access late game by too long. It's already 23 minutes.
I think it's the Battle Fury.
And he can still easily die to a Blink Crush. That to me is where you don't get linkage.
Also, I believe it's going to be somewhat difficult to split push as Clinks this game. Generally one of his strongest mid-game tool is starting to backdoor towers, but when you get caught by a Bane, that's a long nightmare, and then you're going to see a TP in, and that's going to be a death. Or you get caught by MMY, and that's also going to be a death, so I feel like these two picks really render Clinks' effectiveness useless. Not useless, but his split pushing game is non-existent.
He isn't particularly threatening with the BKB. He's a tank. He's kind of a red herring in the fights, and he can make the Slaughter a lot scarier, but his personal damage output is, with the amp damage, is still decent, and I guess that's where Eternal Envy is like, well, yeah, I'm not the hardest hitter, but if the Slaughter gets a good crush amp, then I can get close anyway. But it's definitely a different build-up here. We've seen Fear go for it occasionally, but more often than not, it is that Death first.
Glimpse back into a stun, but a disjoint here by maybe Static Storm also missing Wheel Scepter. LSA.
Sylar's the BKB. This is trouble for Secret. They got to back the hell away. They grip up Weehaw, trying to finish him off before anything else happens. Snowball onto Misery. Aegis will be popped. MMY now backing off after they've cracked the Aegis, but the crush, the turn for Misery, leaps right back in. There's the cooldown. It hits on 5. Oh no! Secret getting massacred. Maybe running forward. Weehaw's dead, slapping them down with the Sleight of Fizz, and Misery's likely to be next. Remnant over. It's a triple for Maybe. But to me, I really gotta give credit to Sylar there, Lumi. He held that call down till the perfect moment.
Yeah, Secret definitely wanted to fight there because the Tombstone placement was so good. There was zombies spawning on 4 or 5 heroes, but the call down much better and dealt way more damage than the Zombie House ever could have done. Tombstone.
I like Zombie House.
Yeah, I like Zombie House as well. Alright, Envy, I'm not sold on this BKB. Like you said, he's really reliant on those amps to do damage. I like the Desto much more, but I think if he didn't have the Ogre Club there, might have actually just died in that fight.
That was a game-winning BKB. If Sylar doesn't have that, there's no way they pull off that fight. And now maybe Battle Fury up, another 700 gold in the bank. That really worries me for Secret because of the way they've itemized as well. Like you've been pointing out, Envy's not going for the hard carry clicks. He's not really split pushing that much. They're building into 2 BKBs, in fact. Everything's utility for this team, and, well, Lena's just so poor that she's kind of a non-factor up to this point.
more importantly, I feel like the damage of the secret supports are starting to falter off as well. We see a double damage being picked up here. That should be a pick if there's not an uphill miss. No.
One more on attack. Close call.
So Static Storm is going to be less and less effective as it goes on. The T-Storm is going to be effective as well. Luna will get picked up eventually. Static Storm is really decent right now. There's a T-Storm down. We need Andrew here in this team fight to do a little bit of physical damage. Going to the fray here. Goes on maybe, but maybe he's really too at this point. Not anymore though. Huge damage output here by the Lina as well as the Clinks. They want to chase a little bit more. Bane is going to be sacrificing his life. I will say will hit, plus will hit as well. And Machine Gun being amped up. Quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, to not have the gyrocopter in that fight, and that's the difference. Just getting caught out. Another great crush by Misery, and there's just no counterplay without the gyro. At that point, you vac wall. Secret don't really care. They just kind of run past it. Their own illusions are really not that scary. There's no Shadow Fiend or huge illusion-based hero. They need the call down in these fights, and unfortunately, it just wasn't there.
Yeah, also, really.
Limerick BKB is going to dodge it. Sylar with the time. He gets off the call down. Misery may pay for this. Snowball forward. They punch him up. They stack him down. They'll get the slaughter. Now they look for a bit more RTK. They'll be completely changed. No back, no wall. He's dead. Envy looking for
Sylar
more. Almost chunks down Sylar. He's going to commit for it. One last blink from Weehaw. We'll get the kill. And now they hunt for MMY. They get the move speed. They clips it back. They've got the vision. It's 4 down. 4 TP. Snowball coming. MMY looking to make the great escape. He drops the shard. Now DDC coming in. One by one. LGD keep on running forward. Maybe trying to get to work here with the remnants, but the Yule Scepter is going to delay this initiation that he's got. He does get caught by the stun. The Sleight of Fist not quite properly timed. Now they've caught him. Static Storm. He's chunked down. It's 4 dead. It's 5 dead. I think they've lost 6 or 7.
Envy, don't die to creeps and Urn. He's taking a lot of damage. He needs to
got him
see
with
him.
the Urn.
They see him drop Solar Crest before he dies. He's right-clicking. He's going to win the right-click. Okay, Weeha's trying to help out here. We need an LC. All right, they got the kill. Now get out of there, boys.
What was that, like 8 kills on LGD?
Team 5 recap, please.
Is it even going to count all the kills, honestly?
Okay, let's be real. Secret is trading evenly against LGD, but LGD's got the better late game, right? We both agree on that.
I feel like that was more than those 5 kills, but that was a crazy fight. Yeah, as amazing as that fight looked, it isn't that big of a gold swing. 4K gold, not bad, but I think for me it's more just I feel like Secret are a little more polished in these fights. Ever since that one big fight bottom, ROTK keeps on getting caught. He's not getting the vacuum off. He's not getting the wall off. They need that to take these fights. And they also have to fight as a team, not just going one by one and get picked off.
To be fair, I think that's Team Secret's strength with their picks, right? Slaughter is one of those heroes that like chaotic fights. Lina's always focusing onto him. So ROTK, yes, he needs to get off his spells, but they're really focusing onto him as well. So I can't really fault ROTK too much. It didn't feel like he, blinked into the center of it to die or anything like that. Meanwhile,
I like the Solar Crest versus the Secret lineup. You definitely want more physical damage mitigation, and that I wouldn't say DDC's played poorly, but I just feel like I haven't felt the impact of the Bane enough to justify it over a Wyvern. We talked about it as the last pick for LGD, was an option. I don't know. There's been one really good Fiend script. That's to me is about it, and that could have basically just been a Winter's Curse anyway.
Yeah, obviously Bane is a lot less good compared to Wyvern in straight-out team fights.
He even had the defensive sleep in the fight here, but it did save his teammate. The Gyro still went down at the end.
To be fair, I think we see very little split push from Envy is because of that Bane pick. So I think a lot of Bane's utility is kind of hidden, if you will. Meanwhile, we're going to see a smoke coming out from Team Secret. Roshan is available. This is a big fight. Of course, both teams have some great Roshan spells. Tombstone on one side, Vacuum on the other. Of course, the Shards could be a pretty big game changer as well. Team Secret, to me, though, they're really reliant on that Slaughter as the opening initiate.
TP'd out the Ember.
But he could come back. It's fine.
Where's his Remnant?
It's in the Roshan pit.
Roche pit. Yeah, well, he can come back.
Well, the thing is, like,
little risky.
If you're Secret and you see that Remnant into the pit, are you gonna just fight under his vision? That's some ballsy stuff.
They're counting a puppy. Capitan we trust. Misery can also jump out.
No,
and they've got the high ground
stuff. No, ROTK.
Will RTK get the jump? Roche is dropping pretty quickly. Ember, they're definitely going to look to fight this.
Oh!
They clips him back. RTK gets out of the fight. Puppy with the huge plays. jumping into the pit, engaging is in the Y Sylar. Now the call down will be let loose, but Eternal Enemy's gonna BKB. He's okay for now. Heavy physical damage, they'll gun him down with the gyrocopter.
He needs to buy back
on
now.
the high ground. Weeha's trying to finish the Roche, but Baby says, no, I'm gonna get in there and smack you down, boy. He wants a Mule Scepter.
Right?
Commitment. Roche, it's the dire
No!
left, but it's a snatch, and they get Weeha as well. Now Pi in danger as well, trapped in the river. Eternal Enemy unable to rejoin the fight. RTK scurries by, he gets away. Pi, the slow, painful death by Rocket, will end his life, and Misery just kind of stands by idly and watches while Puppey is trapped, surrounded, and punished. 4 down, LGD with the big grab. Misery gets the crush, but was it worth it? He makes tie to a chains.
He does not BKB up, right?
Does get like a full range grab, barely.
Okay,
Misery,
okay, he
gets
got
the
one.
kill.
He's gonna get hurt.
Pay. It's a wipe, and another grab for Maybe. Although Misery, he did everything he could to salvage that.
So again, I'm not sure what you want to do, Roshan, under Remnant Vision. As even despite
Puppey almost had like the sickest counterplay ever.
He did. He already glimpsed back the Darkseer and dropped the Static Storm on top. The Darkseer actually didn't do anything at the beginning of that fight, but man, just a call down on top.
But that's the power of Tusk. This is a support that has very minimal farm. He still rolls in, stuns everyone in the pit, like gets right past the Static Storm regardless, and buys time for the Darkseer to get in there.
I mean, the Disruptor also is big, right? So is the Undying. I feel like all of the supports in this game has been playing pretty amazing. Maybe not the Bane, but apart from that, pretty stellar support played throughout. To me, though, I feel like maybe it's just unanswered, right? As the game goes on and on, he gets to do more and more damage.
And now his signature blink. The style points are coming out.
Yep.
The nice thing is now he's got the Aegis, so he can afford to play more aggressively. Still no defensive items. Generally, I mean, we talked about where Linken's isn't a great first item. I don't think it's a terrible option against Disruptor. There are a couple of spam boys to break it, mainly the Slardar ultimate. Manta's, I wouldn't say useless, but likely very ineffective this game, so I don't think he'll go Manta here. You mentioned BKB. If he's going to get one, I don't think it's his next item, but at some point maybe we'll want at least one defensive item.
How do you feel about Scotty here? Kind of tank up.
I don't mind Scotty. It's not it's obviously gives you good armor, which is nice against the physical damage. The attack speed slow can be handy. It's not an item that maybe normally goes for, though. He tends to play a pretty glass cannon Ember.
Yeah. I mean, you said Manta's not too good here, but it also debuffs the amp damage, so there's that.
But that's like the only thing that it does. Just for amp, I suppose it's decent.
Also, you could use it when solo presses. Does it actually get rid of it? I want to say it does. Yeah, okay,
W God, observing quietly in the background.
Yo, he could snipe a courier, maybe?
Tower top, Misery the one to claim it. Plate mail up.
Envy's waiting. Courier snipe.
I mean, they need these courier snipes.
Oh, Envy, wrong way.
They're not really. They didn't play greedy at all in terms of items, in terms of like farming patterns, and every bit that they can get is going to be necessary. Sylar, ultimate orb down, boys. And he is building towards a Manta.
Yo, he just cancels TP to run into a sentry.
Uh-oh, Snowball's here. Looks like they found the Tusk. He's going to roll in. Wait, deep blink. Oh, wait, no, he gets stuck.
There you go, Weeha.
Damn.
Got him.
That's some physical damage. So, yeah, Sylar Manta coming soon. Still waiting to see, yeah, maybe with the Crystallis. So, I think if you don't have Aegis here, you may consider that defensive item more, but you can afford to go pure offense with the way the game's shaping up. Gotta give Weeha credit, though, Lumi. As much as he has missed a bunch of stuns, hasn't had the cleanest Lina game, he still kept his farm up. Finds himself just barely behind the Gyro and the Ember, and they're gonna need a farmed Lina, because Plague's build is not gonna allow him to delete heroes from fights, but with an Ags, potentially, Weeha could do it.
Yeah,
with the help of the Slardar.
The Misery plays has to allow him to set up those LSAs. And more importantly, the Slardar tanking up front allows Alina to get those machine gun right clicks. So yeah, we really recovered them. Although as this game goes on, I think Ember is just gonna play with Lina too much. There's just no play that you could make as Alina to when Ember jumps at you, like you just can't do anything. So.
The late game play for Secret is having
Hexes, I guess.
Hexes, yeah. Lina, honestly, I think Clix is a pretty underrated Hex carrier, especially if you opt to skip Orchid. Not now, but as like maybe your fourth or fifth item. And because he's invis as well, it's often a good way to ambush, maybe. So, let's see what the pickup is. They're gonna siege though. They want to take advantage of the Sages, LGD. Not much time left though. They'll just be able to get this tier 2, and then they're gonna have to back.
So looks like he's going for MKB. There is a solo crest online,
Yeah.
right? So that's probably the build.
I mean, Solar Crest is just such a good item. Like, you have to try and counter that.
I wonder if it can be active in the future. It's like remove all. Like if you attack a target, every hit will hit. You won't miss a hit on a target.
Really?
Ultimate counter to. No, you put a debuff on the enemy, right? Like.
Oh, so like they can't have evasion.
Yeah.
To counter Solar Crest.
I don't know. Random Lumi
That should be a double damage item.
Okay, alright, calm down. That's like something I will say after a long day of casting, right? We haven't even got there.
Theory craft, you know, I'm allowed to have a little fun too.
Alright, so I think Lena's item progression is the most important thing. Can we check on her gold? We need those hexes.
Coming fairly soon.
Okay, we're gonna see Ags into Hex, I guess. It'll be a long while.
Yeah, he stopped out for the Bloodstone. Much more of your late game, like hard carry Lena build, which is interesting considering how poorly the game began. But
I mean, there's a BKB on a gyro. You need the Ags.
Yeah, you definitely need the Ags. It's more the Bloodstone stop off that is less common nowadays, but I think still an okay choice. I favor LGD's team fight if they execute to the best of their abilities, but it's not to say that Secret can't win late. Misery's had great crushes this game. Puppy's been on point. Those two can completely disrupt whatever LGD are looking to do.
I will also say that given the nature of LGD's damage output, they do a lot of massive AoE damage, like Sleight of Fist, the Vacuum, the Call Down. I wouldn't count out the Bloodstone heal as a part of the team fight. You take a whole bunch of AoE damage, your Bloodstone heals you back, you guys, you know.
Did you see that that Eternal Envy died for your sins game? It was like a year and a half ago, I think Lysander was casting for.
I think Loda also...
He was on Tinker. He Bloodstone suicided, and it just allowed his team to take a late of Rex. That was a really fun game.
I saw S4 suicide on Leshrac recently against Venomancer Ultimate. That was pretty cool. So. Alright, crits is finished here on maybe.
Probably MKB the next damage item. He may stop off now for either a BKB or Linked Sphere.
I think this is
a
good time to go a defensive item, because if maybe is not dying in the fight, there's no way LGD is losing the fight. So
yeah, I would agree with that.
So I think it's time to maybe go for a Scotty, BKB, Manta, whatever he wants. Honestly, and one defensive item should be enough in a standard fight.
There's smoke and they wrap around. This could be an excellent angle of assault for LGD. Not scouted by the Dire. They didn't see the smoke. They have no wards even remotely in the area, but the rest of the team backs off while Eternal Envy goes in Viz.
He does have a TP, so if he gets revealed...
He can sell the Aquila.
Yeah, he will.
It's time. Time to run the hell away.
I'm surprised.
And now they're revealed, so he'll just cut it. He'll just cut off and head towards mid.
I'm surprised he stole the Aquila instead of the Soul Ring. Obviously, he's still extremely mana dependent, so the Soul Ring is helpful there. But Aquila gives you some really good spams. He needs every bit of damage. Yeah, Aquila is like 20 damage, right?
At this point, you need to make sure that you always have death tag up. Oh, they're gonna find Envy though. Dust is there. Snowball comes through. Now the Walrus Punch, lock him in position. He's got a BKB. Tries for the TP.
Grip.
Do they have the lockdown?
Yeah,
the grip is there, and Sama no longer will go down.
Yeah. Is the Roshan?
He has no buyback. He's dead for a minute. I feel they do need Envy pretty badly here. They did commit the grip and the wall though. I'm not sure if LGD want to push.
Yeah, Secret's base defense is not exactly stellar, right? I guess you could put a kinetic field in front, maybe you LSA and Dragon Slave, but yeah, they could lose Rax here.
They don't have that great sieging hero though. Like you put the gyro in front, he just doesn't do that much
They have Solar Crest. Like you just put him in front and let him hit.
But he just doesn't hit very much. That's the main issue. It's gonna take a while to bring this down, but maybe says, forget about towers, I want kills. Jumps onto Puppy, forces him to go step nice and early. Manta illusions will come in. They'll tickle the tower.
Yeah, I think what they wanted is to force out buyback, but Envy is not tricked. It's like, all right, we'll just wait it out. We have to lift.
Buyback they don't have.
Yeah,
that's one way to
avoid. They didn't know that, right? Like,
yeah, of course not. Yeah, it's a good play by LGD. And again, I think they do recognize while they want to push the advantage while their hero's dead, they don't have to win now. They have plenty of room to grow. Get like 2-3 more items easily on maybe. Gyro farming still pretty well. Hasn't gotten that first big damage item yet. Manta much more of a utility item here. And of course, your Darkseer can get the Shivas, Fresher, a Hex at some point. Like everybody has room to grow at LGD, and they're really not in any hurry.
So I think the late game that you're talking about is like 50 minutes in, right? The next set of tier 4 items.
Something like that, yeah.
Is there an alternate version of late game where maybe it's 25 minutes later where you think Team Secret would kind of dial it back in terms of
like come back and beat the stronger late game?
Yeah, yeah. I don't see that late game happening here for Secret as well. I think LGD would just lead on hero potential from this point on to like maybe even 100 minutes later. I just don't think Secret's lineup will just be better.
You think they're better at that point?
No, I don't think they're ever better.
Yeah, yeah.
I think Secret, unless they play much better.
I would agree. I think they're only better if they have if they outplay. Like they can only win fights by outplay. Whereas LGD to me, like a reasonably decent fight, an average fight against an average Secret fight, they probably win.
Yeah, I agree.
They are hunting though. It was a double smoke from Secret. Doesn't find anything. A lot of precious late game resources wasted. Maybe Blake said he goes for the quick change, then jumps out, but he's very far away from his team. Maybe he's actually not going to be here for this initial fight. Sylar, though, has the BKB, and maybe he's getting back into position. RTK going to scramble away. That could have been bad.
Yeah.
Secret didn't have the follow-up to that crush.
Actually, maybe the one item that Secret could get is a Aghanims on Puppey. He's been landing some decent static storms. If you could get one on Sylar before he BKBs, or even one on Maybe, and just delete him with the Laguna Blade, they can just win that fight. So
they definitely need a hex in this game as well. This Ember is like, maybe is playing like they basically can't touch him and not getting punished.
If you storm Maybe, you definitely get killed. So the question is, can you storm Maybe? Like, it's just a hard hero to catch.
Yeah. Interesting grab on Puppey. I don't think we talked about it yet. Gets the Lotus Orb.
It will immediately disjoint Bane ult.
It gets rid of the feed script, right?
Yeah. Well, not this turn. Yeah. Basically, Bane will grip himself and then thus canceling it immediately.
And also, yeah, just helps keep your allies alive. As RTK will engage, they're going to bring back the Ember. He only initially finds the clicks. Now the BKB from Sylar. He's the mid in front, focusing on the Tombstone. Envy getting chunked down. The grip from the high ground. DDC is going to find him. Weehaw deletes one, but it's only the Tusk guard. Meanwhile, they chase forward, slicing up the Raptor and jumping back for Weehaw. Isolated, surrounded, dodging again. The stun, maybe. Style points all over the place. He just desecrates the poor Lina. Does Bloodstone deny, but dead nonetheless.
So I think the Lotus Orb actually took the Lina out of the fight for like 5-6 seconds. She got snowballed and she Yules, and as soon as she came down, she also casted a snowball because of the Lotus Orb. And then
I've seen so many Lotus Orbs like versus snowballs that just end in disaster.
Yeah, and then she's like snowball completely in the opposite direction from her team. And sure, she killed the Tusk, but then her team died, so.
I feel like that's the one spell where the Lotus Orb is usually bad, to be honest.
I just
you never really expect it. You're not prepared for it. And it often, just like you said, just takes the hero entirely out of the fight.
I just think that 4K that you put into the Lotus Orb would have been much better as an Aghanim. Because the Aghanims could have been game-winning.
Definitely not the scenario Puppey envisioned. Yeah. And maybe now with those double Divine Rapier slapping away at Rex. Misery has the BKB, the Blink available as well. Maybe tries to jump in here on Mr. Maybe, but it's too late. Damage was done. Disruptor TPing in, looking for a glimpse back. Sylar has the BKB. They'll have to find DDC if they want to get a kill here. Or they'll have to Blink Crush to start. Escape back, they get Vision still into the pit, maybe retreating. 4.2k gold. The whole team fight now reassembled. Secret. A bit of danger here now.
So next game you don't give them Tusk?
I definitely don't think you want to give Tusk away like second stage. If they have the room.
I think it was a first stage pick.
It was an Ember. I know it was Ember overall first, and then I thought it was
Ember Darkseer. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, you definitely don't give Tusk second. All right, they're trying to blink in and do Roche. We've seen this one before.
Shards, not quite fully catching Misery, but they get the vision they need. Uppercut as the snowball comes in. They try to stun him, but the timing's not quite right.
Oh no!
Just a little bit off there. Constantly brought down MMY instead. He just struts away. Now with the starter BKB on cooldown, Lumi, can they fight?
No, they can't.
They contest.
They cannot fight. At best, they are trying to scare.
And they also blew the Tombstone, but didn't mention that.
Yeah, they need to scare LGD away from this game. LGD is not face at all, though. They're like hanging out.
Now, on the way from the Radiant side, it's a completed MKB coming out for Captain Sylar. Maybe about to get his next big item. Misery will glimmer, charges in, he could get the 5-hero crush. Oh, he had a moment, but it would have been too far away from his team.
I think they accomplished their job, which is stopping LGD from the ropes, at least momentarily. Now their items and spells should be back on cooldown. BKB on Slaughter should be back momentarily as well.
Tombstone also going to be back.
Yeah, so
they have everything back, but Siler's also a big item richer, and so too is Eternal Envy. Buybacks. Check him out.
Too far from the
maybe the only major hero to have one right now. He gets bashed in the pit. Oh, the timing on that one. Misery leaping in. Immediately the BKB comes out from Siler. And what do you know? A fresh and shiny double damage. Get the hell away from my Roshan. Leave my team alone. And then the Slate of Pit. The back. The massive combo coming through. Siler turns back in. He gets Laguna zapped down by Weeha. He didn't get to do the full complement of damage, but maybe keeps on chasing. He's going to isolate Puppy. Hurting back and slicing up the Raptor. He wants some carved venison for dinner now.
There's a buyback on Lina. He has DOTs coming back in the fight.
All
Puppy.
rejoining the fight.
Yeah.
This is a big commitment.
Envy's very low as well. He needs to dark pack it. Meanwhile, Ember's by himself.
Rosh is low.
I think they can actually
Vacuum
win this fight.
down. They're gonna have Ashivas again. Breaking in, jumping out, snowballs there. Kiting and controlling. The back comes through. Big plays. Triple remnant forward. Trying to engage into this one. And then maybe gets the chains off. He can dodge that stun. Yes, sir. Maybe just making it look like child's play. He slices them again and again, running circles around Secret. And this is why LGD first picks maybe Ember Spirit. My God, he is a monster.
Yeah, I think killing ROTK has to be the utmost priority. We just see how much that Darkseid's doing. Yeah, sure, Ember is doing a lot of damage.
Oh, yeah.
Gyro's doing a lot of damage, but those vacuums, man. It's always a 3-4
They
man
let him
vacuum.
get off the second vacuum with the Shivas. That definitely cost them any chance to come back.
Well, I guess now if you maybe delete you could get the Divine.
He's like
this
when,
is like
he gets
grasping
when he gets a rapier, it's such like a tactical rapier. You know, he's got the Aegis. They've just killed a bunch of enemy heroes. This is the #1 pushing item he could grab just to take objectives and try to close out the game before heroes respawn.
Yeah.
And he knows that Alina's died back, so she can't buy back. He probably suspects that with the MKB on Eternal Envy, he can. LGD,
they're going
cleaning up the mid lane of Rax, looking for the GG. And with this win, Lumi,
they are 1 win away.
They have to 2-0 here, or else Secret will still finish second. So the work's not done yet. But LGD heating up at the right moment. Misery engages the Static Storm. BKB from Siler as he just tries to fight his way through it. Misery can't do enough damage. MMY surrounded in the middle of the fight. Maybe sits back. He waits for his open. He even drops the defensive remnant. Safety first from the massive carry as he jumps forward. Off with your heads, and you as well, Puppy. Go home. That's the call. Secret will drop game 1.
All right. So last time we had this kind of situation, it was DC versus Fnatic. DC was able to complete the 2-0, knocking Fnatic out. Obviously the situation here is a little bit different, but if LGD do complete that 2-0 sweep we talked about in the beginning of our game, they will be the second place finish in this group and knocking Secret to the lower bracket, which I don't think a lot of people expected coming into this tournament.
Everyone said Group B was weaker. I think that's probably still accurate with DC not really looking that strong, Fnatic looking pretty bad, but definitely did not expect that Secret of all teams would be in the lower bracket. It's possible here. I think LGD got a lot of comfort picks. I also feel to me the big thing was them getting the Tusk in the second stage. Like the Bane,
the Tusk.
The Bane was kind of a non-factor. I honestly felt Wyvern still would have been better this game. Siler played solidly on the Gyrocopter, but it wasn't like, oh my god, Gyro won them this game. He did have that amazing fight bottom, but yeah, I just think the big thing was getting the Tusk. MMY, he won mid lane, remember, with the multiple ganks on Weeha. One of them, like you said, avoidable from the ward, possibly, but the bottom lane as well, he came there, got 2 more kills on an aggressive dual lane that was supposed to be taking the fight to the Gyrocopter, and I just think MMY, his early movements are what opened this game up for LGD.
How much of it do you think is the draft on the Clinks as well? I'm not sure.
I'm
convinced by that hero.
I didn't feel the Clinks this game.
I mean,
I'm not sure.
He got the early Solar Crest, which let them win those early fights, but
he got them the first Rosh.
Yeah.
With just the Solar Crest and the
Medallion,
hero in general.
I think it was. Yeah.
I loved the Slardar. Misery was amazing to me this game.
This is actually Slardar's first loss, or Misery's first loss on Secret.
Wow, big one.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll see what the teams are thinking when we get ready for the draft for Game 2, guys. He's Luminous. You can follow him at Luminous Inverse on Twitter. I'm LD at LD-Dota. We'll take a quick break here, then we'll come back. Could be our final game of the day of this stream, or maybe more tiebreakers await. Stick around. You're watching the Nanyang Championships.